This week's episode of our show has been sponsored by Fables, the new episodic monthly subscription from Ghostfire Gaming.
Fables is an episodic monthly release that's an adventure that includes all of the maps, tokens, and everything you need to run it at your table.
Each Fable comprises of 6 linked episodes released over 6 months. Put them all together and you have a complete campaign.
Set in the worlds of Grimhollow, the first campaign, known as the Citadel of the Unseen Sun, takes place in the Estoian Empire, a realm of unending night, where vampires reign supreme and people live in fear of the unending darkness.
In this first Fable, it's up to your characters to bring the light back into this dark world. And best of all, the final dungeon of this 6-part series might have been written by a certain pair of dudes who might be experts in dungeons.
The first episode is coming in January of 2022, but if you sign up now, you'll get a discounted rate on your subscription. So follow the links below to get in your pre-orders now.
And now, on to this week's episode. Happy holidays! My name is Monty Martin.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin,
and we are the Dungeon Dudes. Welcome to our channel where we cover everything D&D, including advice for players and guides for dungeon masters.
We upload new videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so please subscribe to our channel so that you never miss an episode.
2021 has been an interesting year, but we are all looking forward to spending some time with our friends and family once again this holiday. And definitely that has me in the mood to get some nice gifts.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been able to go shopping and buy a bunch of stuff. So my favorite thing to buy is Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So today we're going to be looking at our top picks for our holiday gift guide for 2021.
The hobby's changed a lot in the past two years, with more and more people playing games of Dungeons and Dragons online. So this year, rather than going into a lot of knickknacks and small physical accessories, we're going to be looking at some of the big flagship releases that came out this year that are great gifts, but also going into detail about some of the digital options that you can do as well. Not only are more people playing D&D virtually now, but there have been some supply chain issues this year, which means that even companies like Wizards of the Coast, who publish D&D, have seen some of their big holiday releases get delayed until January. So it can be hard to find some really sought-after gift items this year.
Luckily, there's still a lot of great gifts to get your fellow players or your dungeon master or that friend or family member that you have who just is breaking into the hobby for the first time. So let's take a look at some of our top picks for this year. There's a lot to celebrate, so let's get rolling.
Just as a disclaimer, we received no compensation from any of the companies or publishers of any of these products in this episode for being mentioned in this episode here today. These are all of our own personal recommendations of products that we've used in our own games that we think that would make great gifts for the holidays. So kicking things off with some of the D&D holiday classics, it is really easy to stuff a stocking filled with dice, miniatures, paints and paintbrushes and other fun accessories for gameplay.
We've talked about these before. There's a lot of great dice companies, almost too many to name. We've had a lot of fun buying dice from Easy Roller Dice, Norse Foundry, Level Up Dice, Skull Splitter Dice, and many others. Of course, you can always get the classic Chessex sets as well to give to your brand new players or dungeon masters. But dice are a staple of the game, and as most people who have played this game for a while know, you can never have just one set of dice.
It's really easy to get a simple set of inexpensive dice that are colorful, fun, and roll well for your entire play group if you don't want to break the bank, but get a little something for everyone that you play D&D with. But of course, if you want to get a special gift for your dungeon master or a close friend or loved one, you can get them a really special set of dice as well for the holidays. These include dice that are made out of metal or aluminum or even nice stone dice. These can be really, really special and also often come with a very nice wooden dice case or dice tray as well that you can roll these with. So if you do want to get someone a really fancy set of dice, they're going to love it.
When it comes to the miniatures, you can get pre-painted minis, which there's a lot of options out there and a lot of different sets of pre-painted minis that you can get. If the person you're buying for does have a knack for enjoying painting, then there's also great sets out there, or you can even go as far as something like getting them a bespoke Hero Forge miniature that will allow them to paint their own character that they've designed. They also present gift cards for Hero Forge if you're not the one one who's going to be designing the actual mini.
Because you can get a gift card on Hero Forge, they can pick out the perfect miniature for their next player character or villain. And even if they don't paint their own miniatures, Hero Forge now has the option to have the miniature 3D printed in color. Someone who is an expert painter can definitely paint their miniature to look better than what these come out to look. But for someone who doesn't paint miniatures at all, the results that you get are quite cool looking on the tabletop.
And while we're talking about gift cards, one other great suggestion for the holidays is to support your local game stores by getting your players or dungeon master a gift card from your local game store. A lot of the game stores have had a pretty tough time the last couple years, and we should still continue to support them. This is sometimes the best way to get the special edition covers for the new books, or just let your Dungeon Master or players go shopping and pick out what they want. So support your local game stores and grab a gift card from them.
Speaking of the books, 2021 saw 5 new releases of official hardcover books for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. This includes Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft and Candlekeep Mysteries,
as well as The Wild Beyond the Witchlight and Fizban's Treasury of Dragons.
The last one, Strixhaven, A Curriculum of Chaos, has actually been delayed and was not available at time of filming. It is coming out in North America in the first week of December, so you can get a copy of that, but in other regions it is being delayed, in some cases till after the holidays.
Now, one thing to note about all of the releases that have come out this year is that they are mostly Dungeon Master focused. There's a small spattering of options for players, but more or less with options like Candlekeep Mysteries and The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, these are actually adventures that the Dungeon Master can run. So a lot of these books are going to be campaign settings with lots of inspiration and ideas for DMs.
In other words, if you are someone that doesn't know much about D&D and you are buying a gift for your friend or family member who is really into Dungeons & Dragons, find out if they're a dungeon master or a player before you purchase one of these new books for them that have come out this year. Because if they're someone who plays D&D, well, they might enjoy having this as a collector's item. These books are really mostly for dungeon masters who are running games of D&D. One thing to note about the favorite local game stores is that all of these books do have a special limited edition cover. These covers are not available at online retailers like Amazon. They are only available in local game shops. These have a limited run, and they're special edition covers of all the previous books as well, which are starting to become harder and harder to find. So if you do want to get a special gift for someone, you will need to go into a game shop to get a copy of one of these special edition covers. Now, as always, if you are a veteran D&D player or someone who played D&D years ago and have a friend or family member that might be interested in it, of course, the simplest way to get a great gift for the holidays is the D&D starter sets. These are only about $20 and is the perfect introduction to D&D for a new player. I really think that this is an excellent gift for young ones who are perhaps between the ages of 10 and 14 and are just starting to get into tabletop role-playing games and hobbies with their friends themselves. So if you do want to spread the joy of D&D this holiday season, this is your ticket right here. It's an old standby. We recommend it every year, but you can't really do better than it.
Now, also released in the last couple of years was the new box set of the core books of Dungeons & Dragons. This box set includes the Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual, and the Dungeon Master's Guide in a brand new special edition cover with this lovely box and a DM screen in there as well. This is a great gift for somebody who is relatively new and maybe doesn't have the core books yet. Or maybe even if they have one of the core books, getting the special edition cover in this beautiful box set is really something else and looks great on a collector's shelf. Even if they have a ton of the books but are an avid collector and want the special edition covers, this is still a great idea to pick up.
Now, for someone who just might have the starter set or is just getting into the hobby of D&D, there also is a version of this gift set with the standard edition covers that is widely available at online retailers like Amazon and most local game stores. The special edition can be a little bit hard to find. And a point of clarification for those that might be searching for this and the difference between this, Wizards of the Coast is releasing the Rules Expansion gift set in January. This has 3 books in it Xanathar's Guide to Everything, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, as well as a new book, Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse, and a DM screen. This box set is available in both the regular edition with the standard covers that we know and love, and a new special edition cover set. However, it has been delayed in shipping and production and will not be out until January. So don't get these things mixed up. The Rules expansion gift set isn't coming out until January. You can probably pre-order it, and if you would like to give a pre-ordered gift in that way, that's a good option. But don't be like, oh, this is the Rules gift set, that's the new one. Make sure that if you're picking up a set of 3 books that you know what it is that you're getting, because the new set has not been released yet. It is delayed.
So that's a lot of our physical products that you might want to grab for the holidays. But with the move to digital play that has happened in the last few years, we're seeing more and more players jump to online formats in order to hang out with new friends from all over the world and play Dungeons and Dragons. So with that in mind, there's a lot of great options now for buying either gift sets or specific products through digital formats.
Now, we looked online at most of the major flagship places where you can play Dungeons & Dragons online through a virtual tabletop or have digital tools for D&D. And we started with D&D Beyond. For those that don't know, D&D Beyond is a subscription-based service that is officially licensed by Wizards of the Coast, and you can get digital, web-based versions of all of the D&D core rulebooks through D&D Beyond. They are about $25 to $30 for the digital edition of these books, and you can gift them to someone who has an account on D&D Beyond. The D&D Beyond subscription service cannot be gifted. At least we looked and we couldn't find a way to do so. The D&D subscription service allows you to share campaigns and create more characters if you're subscribed, but the subscription itself actually doesn't give you access to the material in these books. So the better thing to gift is giftable. If you are having a hard time finding a copy of any of these books, or if you're looking for a gift that is under the $30 range, you can gift a digital version of these books to someone that has a D&D Beyond account. The digital versions are pretty handy. I find myself, I use the digital versions more than the physical versions these days. And the cover price is less. It's just that when you buy a physical copy of the books, you don't get the digital version on D&D Beyond. Be mindful of that. Like, if you buy a physical copy of Candlekeep Mysteries, you don't get it on D&D Beyond. You're not giving anyone a digital copy if you gift them that either.
In terms of other digital formats, a lot of people are playing D&D through VTTs, or virtual tabletops, online. There's a lot of different places that you can go on the internet in order to play D&D. Some of the big names out there are Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, Foundry, and there's a lot more coming. All of these have different options for subscriptions or different sets that you can buy or gift.
Yeah, in the case of Roll20, it both has its subscription service, which has more pro features for managing the virtual tabletop, as well as the ability to purchase virtual copies of the D&D books that come with digital gameplay accessories as well as an expansive marketplace of tokens, maps, and other enhancements for your virtual gameplay experience. All of the items here on Roll20 can be purchased virtually and gifted to somebody else with a Roll20 account as well.
Fantasy Grounds and Tabletop Simulator are both available on Steam, so if you have a Steam account and the people you are gifting to also have a Steam account, you can use their storefronts in order to gift these as well.
Finally, Foundry VTT has become very popular of late because of how customizable and open-ended it is. It is possible to transfer a Foundry license once it is purchased. Foundry offers this as a way of gifting a copy of the software. So if you do purchase Foundry, you can follow links in the frequently asked questions, which will tell you how to transfer a copy of Foundry to someone else, if you do want to get this VTT as a gift for somebody.
Keep in mind that all of these different virtual tabletop websites have different options and different methods for gifting. So just be aware that you need to go through the right steps in order to gift them. On most of them, there is a checkbox that says you're going to be giving this as a gift, so make sure to check that box before you pay, otherwise you're just buying it for yourself.
Now, there's a few other digital options that you can do for gifting as well. Over the past year, Kelly and I have absolutely absolutely fallen in love with Dungeon Draft and Wonder Draft for all of our virtual mapping needs for our various for our own games. We absolutely love these applications, and best of all, they're sold through Humble Bundle, so it's very easy to gift a copy of this software to someone else. If you have a Dungeon Master out there who loves making maps and really wants to take the maps that they create for their virtual games or even their in-person games to the next level, they really should check out Dungeon Draft. It's a great gift under $30 to give to somebody.
Finally, there is also the Dungeon Masters Guild. This is a great place to find Dungeons & Dragons content. There's all sorts of modules, expansion content, new classes and features, as well as some older books revamped for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. And you can also get gift certificates for the Dungeon Masters Guild. Not only can you get all the official Adventures League modules on there, but there is a plethora of third-party content for you to sift through. Chances are, if there's something that the person you're buying for absolutely loves and they wish that it was in Dungeons & Dragons, you can find some form of it on the Dungeon Masters Guild.
Speaking of third-party content, beyond the Dungeon Masters Guild, there are some wonderful creators that have been putting out some great content for 5th edition that you can use in your games as well. Our great friends at Ghostfire Games have been publishing some great content from their Grim Hollow setting. Many of their books, such as their campaign guide and player's guide, are currently available for order, with their upcoming books like their monster manual available for pre-order now. And of course, we might have our own book, Dungeons of Drakkenheim, which at time of filming, it is not available in physical copy yet. This is one of our pre-production proofs. But you can pre-order it for your friends, and if you want a great adventure for 5th edition, written by yours truly, please consider heading on to Drakkenheim.com and pre-ordering a friend or family member a copy of our adventure.
It's probably the best gift that you can get anybody this year, honestly. Moving past the content, there are some more personal gifts that you can get. One of my favorite options is actually getting commissioned artwork of the player characters. We contacted a local artist, Jeremy Cole, a few years ago to get character art for our show. Although we've had great luck with a lot of artists out there, that was a great gift that we were able to give all of the players at the table. If there's a certain artist that they like, there's usually going to be options for commissions. However, with the holidays coming up, they might be pretty busy, so make sure that they are available to do commissions. I myself have gotten artwork done by Sketch Goblin as well, who's a great minimalist artist on the internet who has done some great artwork of player characters time and time again.
And of course, if you want to get a really special gift for your Dungeon Master, consider running a one-shot for them, or maybe even a short campaign of a couple sessions. Many Dungeon Masters don't get the opportunity to play D&D as much as they would like, and so taking up the mantle, even just for a one-shot or a short campaign, as a gift for your Dungeon Master, might be the most magical gift of all that you can give them. If you are intimidated by the newness of running your own D&D game, we got a great guide on running a one-shot, as well as lots of great tips here on this channel for new Dungeon Masters. So if you really want to make a special gift for the holidays that doesn't cost you anything, consider that.
Giving the gifts of Dungeons and Dragons is such a great thing to do because Dungeons and Dragons, in essence, brings a group of people together to have fun and experience some new ideas and imagination. So getting your friends or family around a table or a digital tabletop to enjoy Dungeons and Dragons is a great thing to do for the holiday season. So we hope that this gift guide has given you some ideas on what to get your favorite players or dungeon masters out there. And hopefully you have a wonderful holidays, whatever it is you celebrate. So this has been our holiday gift guide for 2021. If you have any ideas for great gifts for Dungeons & Dragons, tell us about your ideas in the comments below.
Down in the video description below, you can also find Amazon links to many of the products mentioned in this episode if you would like to order them through online. We do get a small kickback as an Amazon affiliate for doing this, so it does help support the channel as well.
And don't forget to check out our live play Shadows of Drakkenheim, which airs Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. You can find all the previous episodes of that show right up over here.
And we've got plenty more videos for Dungeon Masters and players of D&D 5e right up over here.
Please subscribe to our channel so that you never miss an episode.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a happy holiday, and we'll see you next time
in the dungeon.